Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'm going to be trying to find what strategies have been working on a month-to-month basis and testing whether or not the momentum can continue. So what we're going to be doing is listing 10 different strategies, and each one of these correspond to these ETFs. Ideally, you would want to generate your own portfolio for each of these, but that will be very time consuming. So what I have done is just listed these ETFs, which kind of represent each of these 10 different strategies. We're going to start off by getting some data from Yahoo Finance. So if you want to change any of these ETFs, just make sure you change line 26. After we have downloaded the data, we're going to merge all the adjusted closes together. And from line 38, we're going to calculate the monthly return for each of these ETFs. We're going to create a ranking system to select the number of stocks we want to hold in our portfolio each month. And the way we're going to rank these are by Sharpe ratio. So we're going to use apply monthly. And for each month, we're going to calculate the Sharpe ratio for each of these ETFs. So I'll go ahead and show you those two objects. So the returns are just the monthly returns. And similarly, in the same period, we have our Sharpe ratios for each of these ETFs. And from here, you can plot the monthly returns. So in the next block, we're going to use charts performance summary. And we see that nothing really stands out. And now in the very next block, we're just going to create the ranking system. And I have built two functions. The first one is called getStrat, where we pass in the number of ETFs you want to hold in your portfolio each month. And what this function will return is a data frame for each of the holding periods. So for each row, which represents a different month, the top performing ETFs based on the Sharpe ratio, and then return the next period returns. So essentially, we're just looking back 1 month, and the reason why we're returning the data frame is so that we can take a look at the ETF names that it's picking for each of the periods. We're going to take the data frame this function generated and pass it along to this very next function, where it's just going to calculate the equally weighted portfolio. And in the very last block, we're just going to pass in the number of ETFs we want to hold for each period. We're going to convert that into an XCS object and then plot the returns. So we see that the strategy is not that exciting. Maybe removing some of the strategies I chose or replacing them could be beneficial, but I wanted to show you the objects it returned. So for DF, it returns each of the holding periods along with the ETF performance in that particular month, along with the ETF names. So these should be in order. And the other function just returns the portfolio return. So we're just going to get a single value for each of the months. So you shouldn't get any errors if you change the number of ETFs you want to hold. So we could change this to 5. So long as you don't go over the number of ETFs in your list, you should be okay. So we can check DF. Now we have 5 different ETFs for each of the holding periods. So to me, this strategy just looks like it's following the market. I don't see that it's that beneficial. But like I said, maybe changing the number of strategies or replacing some of the ETFs in our list could provide better returns. Well, with that, guys, this concludes the video. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.